Shalom. All praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh, Shah, Bashim, Kakudas. Double honors to the apostles, the great millstone, and salutations to you. I can teach all truth with sincerity. Um, this is going to be a lesson going to balance. So, it says, it's Proverbs 11 and 1. It says, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So, this this lesson is something I thought of doing because I can admit that my balance I've been feeling it's been a little off. Uh, not basically for a while now. Um, so and I've been feeling like maybe it's been way off, but prayer can help that. Prayer can actually change that whole balance thing. Also, you you working to fix that. Also, like working your schedule around so you can you know have a chance to get everything done all at once. Like, say you work a lot, you can cut down on the hours that you already have. Like you work the normal hours, but any extra overtime, you cut that out because it's throwing you off balance, or anything that's hindering you from doing the work, you cut that off so you can do the work in a orderly fashion. But I just been feeling like off balance for a while, and I thought maybe I should do a sit down on it because you know it has this scripture in First Corinthians, no, Second Corinthians. It says 13:5. It says Second Corinthians 13:5. It says, "Examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how Yahweh Shah Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates." Because the point what I was gonna say was, we know everybody knows when they're slipping. A brother who's also who's assigned over me, he always tells me that a man knoweth when he's slipping. So you know when you're slipping. So if you know that you're unbalanced, always talk to another brother in the truth that probably over you, or a brother in the same level as you, but still have that spiritual conversation with the Akim and ask them, like, what could you do to fix the unbalancedness with you? And I've talked to one other brother, but which, yeah, he told me to pray, to fast, to do with the necessary things to get yourself back from being balanced. And also, being slothful is not an excuse. Being unbalanced is not an excuse to not do the work and not to go out on the highways and byways. You got to continue to fight. You got to continue to examine yourself. You got to continue to do the things that is necessary if you want to uh, be lifted up in a chariot, to be saved out of this place called Babylon, which is going to be burnt with nuclear destruction. And it also says in scripture, I'm gonna go to that scripture that says Acts 14 and 22. It says Acts 14:22. It says concerning the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we much and that we through much tribulation. Salaki. I'm gonna read it again. It's Acts 14, verse 22. It says concerning the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, that we much Salaki, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So we the righteous, the elect, are gonna go through
And when they had ordained them elders in every church, and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed. And when they had ordained them elders in every church, and had prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, on whom they believed.
Salaki, that was weird. That was a Salaki. That was my finger. I'm sorry. That threw me off for a minute. But anyway, back to the scriptures. Acts 14:22. It says, concerning the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So the elect, the men of the Lord, are gonna go through. They're gonna go through something before they enter into the kingdom. Before they get lifted up to the chariot and be with Yahweh Shai forever. They're gonna go through something before they go through, like the hour of temptation, like the time when Jacob's trouble. They're gonna go through something before they get lifted up into that chariot, before they get delivered out of this place. They're gonna go through something. So if you're feeling like you're off, you're feeling unbalanced at this moment, and you feel off, you know, all this is a light affliction um, before the hour of temptation, and that's when that's when everything gets really real, and But anyway, my next scripture is my next scripture is 1 Corinthians 14:20. It's It says, brethren, be not children in understanding, howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be men. So when it says in scripture, it says, be as one of these little children. Um, it says, be children in malice, but be in understanding be men. We're supposed to gird up our loins as a man, and do the work, and continue to examine ourselves, because uh, because in this truth, when you come into the knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, that you become a man, you become a man in understanding, um, and I have another scriptures, and then I'm gonna read. This is 1 Corinthians 13:11. It says, when I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. You become in this knowledge of how Bashim Yahushua, you put off the old man and you put on the new man. You basically become a new creature. You put off the old ways of the world, and that you put off the child. That's the childish things that you put off, and you become a man of the Lord. You become a man of nobility, a man of great stature and a man of great knowledge and his truth. And you you know you basically change how you were before, and that because you're basically being watered by multiple men, being watered by the truth, knowledge of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, become that man of the Lord that like that scripture says, he be renewed in your mind, being renewed in your mind, being having that stability. It says in Isaiah 33:6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, strength and salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So basically, having this wisdom and knowledge can keep you stable in the times that we're coming in, and being a part of this truth, you become a real man, and you put off the old ways that you used to, and being balanced in this truth, having that balance, you know, you won't vomit up what you have learned. You won't lose the you won't lose the you won't lose your you won't lose your mind. you know you'll stay your mind will stay stable, and you know you'll endure until the end. you know but anyway, but I'm gonna end it right here, because I'm gonna end it right here. So I'm gonna say all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, double honors to other apostles, great millstone, and salutations to the Akim teacher, all truth, sincerity, and shalom.